All right, let's move on to threads and Reddits. And this first one here came from threads, Instagram threads. Like I started finding some good stuff on there. I was like, no, let's see what was going on the threads world. So this is from Little Miss Sloot. And it says, I went out with a guy for drinks and I thought it went great. After I got home, he texted me saying, I don't think there is anything romantic between us, but if you are down for consistent friends with benefits, let me know. I told him, I'm sorry if you think I'm that kind of woman. I wish you well, though. Hope you find what you're looking for. SMH. So this sparked the whole comment section here. And this guy said to her, Carlo Grillo said, y'all want honesty. That's honesty. He didn't like you like that. And this girl, that Rue creator, decided to respond back to him and said, but like her enough to be friends with benefits? Jesus fucking Christ. So JFC. She did it with a question mark. So this is where I want to react to this whole situation because they about to go back and forth. Mm-hmm. So Carlo goes, yes, thinks she's hot, probably be fun to talk to and vibe with, just not quite interested enough to be romantically interested. Maybe there was a red flag, maybe she was turned off or turned him off romantically, whatever. Most women can easily gain sexual interest. Romantic interest is harder to gain. I didn't think I had to explain that, but here I am. So Rue comes back with, I don't understand how sexual and romantic interest is different. That just means to do to someone. You're good enough to be intimate with, but not good enough for love. Gross, and I hope he never gets his girl he wants. Carlos come back. It's not saying you're not good enough for love. He's not interested in love with her based off of his experience with her. Hence, why he didn't waste her time. Why is it offensive to be interested in having sex? It's also not gross, it's sex, which all of us have had grow up, which I don't know if that's the case. It's gross, and then Rue comes back. It's gross to be into somebody's body, but not the rest of them. That's a mindset thing.
That's literally a men thing, but go ahead.
See, and then Carlos goes, no, it's really not. You never had friends with benefits? Rue, I have, but it's not something that aligns with me anymore. Right. Carlos goes, right. It was normal when you did it. You just don't like it anymore. That doesn't apply to everyone. And God, they're going back and forth.
Jesus.
So I did like the next thing. So, oh no, I like the thing where you said it doesn't apply to everyone. Then Rue goes, for most women, friends with benefits isn't enough, and any relationship where I now have sex without love is because I was lied to from the start. So Carl goes, right. So he literally gave the perfect solution to what you went through. He's not lying. He's telling her straight up. Just because he doesn't want to be romantically involved and pursue a real relationship doesn't mean he won't care. Doesn't mean that they won't vibe or they won't treat her nicely. I don't know where you're getting the just for the body thing. And then she goes, you're purposely misunderstanding me. I'm not here to explain what his lack of wanting to get to know her soul means. But she literally said it's gross for... She's literally said, I don't understand how sexual and romantic interest is different. Yeah. That just means to do to someone. You're not good to be intimate with, but not good for love. You're good enough to be intimate with, but not good enough for love. Gross, and I hope he never gets the girl he wants. So you just say
Yeah, she's contradicting herself way too much.
Because she found herself losing the argument there, which...
Yeah.
Carlos, I'm going to give my perspective here, and let's see if you line with mine.
Hey, go ahead.
Men can easily separate sex and romance. We can put in two different spots. We can see women that we're like, yo, I would definitely hook up with her, have fun with her, we have a good time, that's it. And then there's a woman we're like, no, I actually want her to date. I want her to be my wife. I want her to be my significant other. I want her to be my long-term girlfriend. I want to be in a relationship with her, not just for sex. We can easily separate the two. We can put personality, like she has a great personality. She's perfect for a partner, perfect to have fun with, a companion with. And then we can look at somebody and be like, nah, I definitely would not. I do not want to be in a relationship with her. I do not want to like have a companionship with her, but I definitely will hit. It sounds gross, and most women would think it's gross, but that's how most men think. Carlos and I think the same way. What about you?
100% yes, because again, you can be sexually attracted to somebody, and then just their attitude alone will prone you not to want to be in a relationship with them. You know, so that's why he asked, like, "Hey, I'm not romantically like I don't see us having a relationship, but if you want to have, you know, friends with benefits type situation, that's 100% fine." And again, he was upfront and honest with her.
It's the best thing to do.
It's the best thing to do. Didn't no wasting time or whatever. It seems like the girl, no offense to her, where she admitted that where she had a friends with benefits relationship and then she didn't want to do that anymore, but then she contradicted herself again, saying that she was lied to in it or something. Whatever.
Yeah, like he lied. He told me he loved me just to say like, which some dudes don't know how to probably think they will. So be careful with this, and you gotta watch a man's actions, not his words. I've said on multiple episodes, watch his actions, not his words. And men, watch a woman's actions, not her words, because it's easy to tell a lady, "I love you." I love you so much. And the lady's like, "Oh, he said he loved me." Next thing you know, you're having sex, and then all of a sudden, the phone call stopped.
And that post nut clarity.
Man. So, like, to see if a guy generally, wants you and have him be honest with you. And don't get mad at a guy for being honest with you. Like, this guy was honest saying, "Hey, I'm down to be friends with benefits. I'm just not down for a relationship with you. I don't want you romantically, but I'm down to have, fun in a friends with benefits manner." The lady had the opportunity to say, "You know what? I was thinking the same thing. I'm down to be friends with benefits," or "Nah, I'm not doing that. Good luck out there." So you can't get mad at the guy for doing that. And yes, men do think sex differently than women. Like, so ladies, if you're not comfortable with friends with benefits mentality with a guy, or you're not comfortable being with a guy purely for just sex, then I would say be more intentional about when you're having sex. Don't just have sex with everybody. Be more, and men, same way. Men, if you're not comfortable with just hooking up with a lady just to hook up with her, be more intentional about when you get an opportunity to have sex. Like, "Hey, things getting hot and heavy, but I don't want to have sex. I just want to take my time." That's perfectly fine. A respectable partner will understand that, and they will not push it. Now you have a partner who try to push it, get out. It's not worth it.
Yep. Run
for the hills. All right, here's another one. This is a serious question, but why do men assume that because you agree to a date, you're interested in them? What if you're just exploring? Whatever happens to getting to know someone? If I go to dinner with you, you're still a stranger. You're just a stranger I had dinner with.
Is it the whole point of dating to get interested in someone?
Yes.
Okay. And men will not go on a date with a woman that they're not interested in.
Yes.
However, women will go on a date just to go on a date with a guy that they're not interested in, just to go on the date. And this is a prime example.
Yeah. Well, I think because ladies are told, like, give them a shot. You're not interested, you give them a shot.
Yeah.
And that's probably what.
But then again, women aren't always interested in looks, whatever, because if they have the status, the money, and all the bullshit, they'll be more interested in that than the actual person. Which is totally fine.
Their prerogative. But yeah, that's where that comes. So men will always assume you're going on a date with somebody. If we say it's a date, I'm going to assume you're interested in me.
Yeah.
At least sexually.
If you're not, then just say no.
Yeah, just say no to the date. Like, we're used to rejection. That's one thing about being an approacher. You get rejected a lot. We won't be hurt by that. So don't waste your time if you're not interested in going on a date with somebody. But the guy is going to assume that you're interested in him. If y'all even said the word, we're going on a date, he's going to assume you're interested. Now, you're saying, hey, we're looking to a meetup. I probably wouldn't consider it a date. I'll be like, trying to have sex? That's what you saying? A meetup? Like, what's going on with that? Like,
you want to see that you guys are attracted to each other?
Yeah, like, and then if you're trying to get to know somebody to see you're interested in going on a date with them, I wouldn't say go on a date. Like, hey, I don't want to go on a date, but you want to go get, like, there's things you can do to see if you want to talk to somebody besides a date. I don't know. But that's why men think that, because we assume that, of course, you're asking a date that it's going to be some kind of sexual, if not romantic, relationship, feelings here somewhere, and we're going to see where this goes. And so that's where that comes from. But yeah, why would you go on a date with someone if you don't have an interest in them? That's the first comment on that post. All right, here's another one. Men, are you scared to date single mothers because the potential of them getting back with their baby daddies? Or because you're scared to build a connection with their kid, just have the relationship not work and never see them again? Are you scared to date single mothers? I never looked at a single mother and been like, I wonder if she's gonna get back with her ex. No. As a product of a single mother child myself, and a dad who, dated around, so I met different type of women. I don't want to put another kid through that. I don't want to put a kid through, I'm meeting the kid and then we get attached and then the mom and I don't work out and next thing the kid's like, what happened to Ali? That is my hookup with that. Why I wouldn't date a single mother. Now, if I'm dating a single mother, I wouldn't want to meet the kid until I'm legit like at least 3 months talking to her, maybe 4 months. That's once again my priority. I'm not trying to meet the kid off the bat. I want to get to know, see if I even have a connection with the mom before I even try to date a single mother. Before I try to meet the kid. I want to know, me and the mom get together, how our connection are. Do we even work together, have that chemistry together for me to move to the next step? Because to me, before I become in a relationship with that lady, I need to at least know how I interact with the kid. So I need to know what that kid is, but I'm waiting for the mom to bring the kid up. Now she's like, oh, we meet the kid date, like, no, date 2. No, I'm not ready yet. But like, if it's date 12, which hopefully that's 3 months, 4 months, okay, I'll meet the kid.
If I can second that with adding on to what's your intentions with the mother. Like if you're just casually dating the mother, to where you actually kind of don't have interactions with the kid, or it's like, hey, we're just hanging out, whatever, doing the friends with benefits thing, whatever. That's fine. It comes to the point of, are you guys combining households? How serious the relationship is getting to where now you're not only providing for her, but you're also providing for the kid and all this other stuff is more or less tackling that. And that if you're not in a position to go from being single to then being in a relationship with the child, it like I said, it can pose difficulty. Now usually either the father or whatever has a kid or something, and then they combine the families together. Usually works out a lot better than just the father getting in the relationship with the mother, and then the child gets in there and all this other stuff. Obviously, don't quote me on that, only because of the statistics and everything else. But I don't have problems dating single mothers. It all depends on what's my intentions with the mother.
With the mother,
you know.
And to add to that, like another thing, like for me, somebody who doesn't have kids, it's comes down to time. Like I know if a mom, and this is a huge turn off here, and I might get to this in a moment. A huge turn off with dating a single mother, if she puts me over her kids, I am going to be out, because that shows me if we have another kid, you're going to prioritize yourself over your kid. And for me, I think as a parent, you should never prioritize your well-being over your kid. Your kid should come first. Your kid should be, the next generation for you. They should be trying to prep them up to move on to the next level of life. And I get that, like, you're like, well, I'll put my life on pause. You have a whole human being who can't fend for themselves. Until they're able to fend for themselves, yes, your life is on your for that moment. Your newborn should be taken care of, and you're going to be tired. Like, a good parent would do that. Until they're able, like, well, I can sit at home by myself without burning the house. Okay, we're not there yet. Like, so, yeah, if you're like, well, my 2-year-old kid here, I'll just send him off to her friends. I'm going to go on this date with you. I'm like, where's your kid at? Oh, they're with my friends. Yeah, this is not gonna work for me. So as a single guy dating a mother with kids, I will be 100% turned off by the fact that she put me over her kids. Now she's like, hey. Now the flip side of that will also turn me off, because for some kind of single mothers, because when it comes to dating somebody, availability is key. At least a game plan for availability. Like, hey, I can't do Tuesday night, but I can do Thursday or Friday night. I can't do Saturday, but I can do Sunday. But if I hit like, okay, well, let's do a date. Let's go by Thursday night. I can't do that. I have my kid with me. Okay, what about Friday? I can't do that. I have my kid with me. All right, how about next Thursday? I can't do that. I have my kid. What about Wednesday? I can't do that. I have my kid with me. What about like a babysitter? Like somebody, like if you always have your kid with you, and every time I say like, let's do a date, and you're like, I can't, kid. I'm like, well, obviously you don't want to date because you're not giving them a suggestion on what the date is. So it's, to me, it's like a fine line there where you don't want to do too much, but also dating does take time, and it does take time to make a date. If you're not trying to make a date, I'm also gonna be out.
Also, don't, and then maybe it's gonna sound a little bad.
Yeah.
But don't get in a relationship with a guy who's not ready to, I guess, quote unquote, be a father. Because that is, again, your child is an add-on to you being a single mother. So, I mean, you can't really curse the guy if he wants to be in a relationship, but he's not ready to be a father. Like,
yeah.
I mean, taking on either a 3-month-old, a newborn, or a 16-year-old is a lot for a guy that is single with no kids.
Right.
You know?
Hey, even sex itself, like, you shouldn't be having sex if you're not ready for the consequences. Like, I remember when my coaches in high school used to say, he's like, if you're willing to play adult games, be ready for adult consequences. Sex is an adult game. You're looking at it that way. Somebody looking at it that way. If the condom breaks or you're not using protection and the lady gets pregnant and she wants to keep the baby, there's your kid. Welcome to fatherhood. So you at least, if you want to have sex, at least make sure you have that mindset that at one point she can't get pregnant. I might become a dad. So don't just sit there and be like, well, back to you what you're saying. Like, if you're willing to have sex, at least date around and have sex and have unprotected sex. At least be on a mindset that, hey, you might become a dad and be willing and ready for that. Mm-hmm. I don't know why people, like, you're right. Like, why date around or date intentionally if you're not ready to be a father at one point? Because that can happen and life will make a way sometimes. All right, let's go with a few more here. All right. Y'all, this is from Stormy Height. Another person was, what was his name? Sam Crump 96. So this next one here is from Stormy Height. And she goes, y'all, I can't make sense of this dating scene. I had a great date a few weeks ago. He seemed really into me, kept talking about what it'll be like if we were in a relationship. While on the date lasted a few good hours, and he texted right after to say how good of a time he had and how he really wanted to do it again. We texted a bit after that and then ghosted. Why do people ghost if they express so much interest before ghosting? I don't get it.
Ew.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I think he was Sam bombing there. Not Sam bombing, love bombing. And what I mean by that is that, like, he was having all this vision. Like, he was like, had a good date with you. He was saying, like, oh man, this could be the next girl of my future, next girl, all this stuff. And then he got home and I had what? We were seeing really into me. Lasted a few good hours, and he texted right after to say how good a time he had. So, all right, let's say he didn't go over your place, but yeah, I had a really good time. Date lasted for, like, let's say 2 hours, 3 hours. Amazing time. Maybe kissed before y'all left. Then got home and he was just like, I don't think I'm ready for a relationship. Or somebody from his past came back into his life and he was like, oh, well, I thought about talking to her, but this other person came back to me. And so after he was envisioning this whole relationship with you right there on the spot and then telling you all these things that you thought you wanted to hear and then ghosted, which he shouldn't ghost it. Ghosting is a cowardly thing to do. But I think he was love bombing you there. He was trying to give you all these things you wanted to hear, set it up what it can be like. And then when he realized that he wasn't really romantically into you, maybe just sexually into you, but didn't want to tell you that, hey, I'm sexually into you, he just ghosted. Which is a cowardly thing to do, but that's what he did.
I was going to kind of say the same thing, but I wouldn't say somebody from his past came. I would say he found somebody new.
That too.
Because usually if we're into somebody, we're going to obviously pursue that. But then if something, I'm not going to say something new or better or whatever, something else came along and they were more interested in that, it could easily why he ghosted you. And then ghosting, I guess, is a way to... it's most definitely a cowardly thing to do, but it's a way of not, hurting your feelings. It's better to have, well, I'm not gonna say it's better, but I mean, if you think about it, if you didn't want to hurt your feelings, you didn't want to say, hey, I found somebody better and hotter and whatever than you, it probably for him felt better to say, hey, she's probably a good looking girl, she's dating whatever. Even if you guys met on a dating app, I don't understand when people meet on dating apps that it's like, okay, if I'm meeting somebody on a dating app, obviously I'm putting myself out there for other people to come along.
Right.
You see what I mean? So I don't see how you could be surprised if that's the setting or that's how you met or whatever, that he met either somebody else and was probably expecting you to meet somebody else, you know? So that's my take on it.
It's definitely a modern dating thing, and it's, to me, if you like gonna say all this stuff about how like you had a great time, and you're excited to see somebody again, and then just disappear, at least get in the car and say, hey, sorry. Like, she's been a few weeks, so she's been sitting back on this for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
And this, like, he's gone, let's say, moved and met somebody else. At least the common dignity to be like, or common courtesy, just like, hey, I met somebody else, or hey, you know, I had a good time with you, but I'm going to explore options with somebody else. That's what I've done it before. Reach out like, hey, you know, I had a fun time, but you know, I thought we were gonna do a second date, but I ended up meeting somebody else. I'm gonna explore that and see where that goes. And that's what he could do. Maybe he's meeting somebody beforehand and then want to date with you and then realize, oh, I'm gonna go back to the other person I met. Like, there's so much that can go in there. The ghosting part of it, the common courtesy, just be like, just be upfront and honest, and leave it at that. So, but that's what happened there. And the love bombing thing, it's not a cool thing, but you gotta be careful of that. So watch their actions, not their words. So what they do afterwards is the story there. All right, last one, and then we call this episode a wrap here. Questions for men. This is from Red Dandelion. If you are in a relationship and you love your partner, can you go a few days without hearing anything from them? No texts, no calls. Let's say you're on a boys trip. Would you not text/call your partner for days just because you're with the boys and on vacation mode? Is it normal?
I'd say in every relationship that I've probably been, I would say I went days without contacting someone.
You said you went days?
I didn't go out days without contacting someone. It's like if I'm going on a boys trip, I was like, hey, I'm going on a boys trip. Hey, good morning. I'm doing good, or something. Something. It didn't have to be in the morning or something. I'm not going. You know, hours maybe because you're doing shit. You're doing shit. But days without contacting someone, you know,
that's not normal.
That's not normal. And then if you're contacting them and they're not contacting you back, then that's a sign.
Yes.
You know, or I guess maybe not a sign, but something there.
Flags should go up.
Let's be honest. Like you're doing stuff. Especially if you're on a boys trip, you're doing stuff. You got the whole day planned. Whatever. You could be in the Rocky Mountains climbing Kilimanjaro or some shit or whatever. I butchered that fucking mountain.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
I get you.
But you could be up with no signal and camping out or something like that. You know, so it could be, you know, some time, but if you're coming back from a boys trip after 3 days, there's some internet connection or mobile connection in between there.
Something.
It's like, hey, I'm sorry, I was in the mountains or whatever. I got hit by a goat or some shit. You know, couldn't text you or whatever. But
I've been in.
That doesn't sound like the situation here,
right? I've been in both scenarios. I've been in scenarios when I have been the one on a trip, and I've been the one who's been at home in scenarios. And you'll get at least something. Like maybe it's a good morning text, or maybe it's a good night text, or hey, we're about to go do something. My phone's gonna be away, or I'm gonna lose signal while I'm doing this. Like there is some form of communication, and also another thing to keep into account here: what kind of communication you have with your partner before the vacation, or before the trip, or before the time away. Like, are you two communicating with each other every day and every minute, every hour kind of thing, where then that disappears, and you're not hearing anything from them? Weird. But if you're somebody who like, okay, we get at least a good morning text and you have a good night call. We don't talk to each other throughout the day. Okay, well, that's your dynamic of your relationship. But like, I would expect at least maybe a call on vacation saying, hey, you know, we're out doing having a good time. Maybe it's 5 minutes. You don't have to be that long, but at least something. There'll be at least some form of communication. Heck, even if you get somewhere, be like, hey, we made it to so and so. But have a good time. Hope you have a good day. Yeah. Like, some kind of communication should be present. If you're not getting that, that'll be a bunch of red flags. Now, okay, no, she said you're in a relationship. Okay, cool. Yeah, so your boyfriend, girlfriends. I'm about to say y'all were just talking. It's different, but relationship, your boyfriend or girlfriend should be reaching out to you, at least saying like, hey, hope you have a good day. We're doing this. I'm safe, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating you want to put in the comment section, go ahead and do it. or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com, and I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.